Hello, darlings. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you, my darlings. Happy New Year. Now, you might be asking yourself, why on earth is this woman doing a live on the 1st of January? And that is because, hello. How are you, my darlings? And nice to see you. Nice. Happy New Year, my loves. Happy New Year. Yes, I am going to be with you maybe for an hour, a little bit more, perhaps, depending on how well we do on time, because I have promised my son that we will go gallivanting and sightseeing. But I did want to, obviously, I have to come on here and say Happy New Year to you, my darlings. Now, it's an exciting day today because we are launching the House of Swans. We have launched the House of Swans. That means that you are able to go and join and become a member of the House of Swans. That means that you can access the last masterclass I did on the truth about men, their money, power, and sex. Okay, and I did part 1, and that part 1 is available in the House of Swans. I will be doing part 2, which is how to be unforgettable in bed, and that's going to be our sex course, and it might go on for a while because there's so much I want to teach around that subject, and that will be in the House of Swans. So the girls they're swanning in the House of Swans. They're swanning in, they're introducing themselves. We're having a wonderful time. Don't be the girl that missed out. Today, I am going to tell you 7. And knowing me, I might end up talking about them all in one go. You'll have to come back with the juice. You will. I'm going to save this for you because I understand that we're all in different time zones. Some of you are probably sleeping. So many of you are going to be watching this via replay. So go and rest, do what you have to do, and you can watch the replay. But we're going to be talking about dating rules 2025 for the woman that is dating for marriage. Honestly, baby girls, I don't really create content for women that are for the streets or just want to get laid, because we're women, we can get laid. It's like not a big deal. You really don't need coaching to get laid. That's something men need. So you don't really need me for that. But you definitely do need me to help you and fine-tune you as we go into 2025. Now, I did a post the other day that got some girls' knickers in a twist, very unhappy with me because I told them some of the duties and responsibilities of marriage and they didn't like the first one. I completely understand that, but that is to do with all of us being a little bit triggered, a little bit, it was a tough year for some of us and probably for most of us. And it was good and bad like every year. And when we get to the end of the year, we have lower tolerance than we would like to. And so it really brought to light the fact that I do need to take a lot of you on a journey, because a lot of the things that trigger you are a result of not being mothered correctly. We talk about men not being fathered, but we are an unmothered generation. They are just some things that a mother tells a daughter, an auntie tells a niece, that are simply not for public consumption. They are for private settings, and they're easier to receive coming from your mother and your aunties than they will be coming from an expert online. Okay, so I understand that, and this is why we have the House of Swans, because it's gonna be really me doing a lot of the stuff your mummy didn't do, your aunties forgot to do, your big sisters didn't know to do, and I'm gonna be really helping you understand what it is to truly be a wife, truly be, some of us just need to work on our womanhood. Let's face it, we have just made it up along the way. So the House of Swans is really a place where we're going to take a journey together. It's not going to be a place where we're just going to go in there and have fun, but we are going to take a journey, and this is going to be a 12-month journey. And if you commit to that journey, if you show up for yourself, invest in yourself, show up for yourself, I'm going to show up for you. That's the deal that I'm going to make. I'm going to show up for you if you show up for yourself, because this journey, thank you so much. Miss Bayana said I was 100% correct. Thank you. That's because you're a swan. So we need to fine tune some things, because some of us are just 2 minutes away. We're this far away from meeting our husband and being chosen. Some of us have met our husbands, but we haven't been chosen in 2024. I work with men privately, And there are a lot of women that my guy clients had to walk away from, who they would have married, because these women had no understanding of certain things. And I was on the other side going, oh no, baby girl, that's not the move. It's not the move, right? Because we're making it up. We're going from real to real, social media person to social media person, and we're just making it up. Okay, we are just making this stuff up, and we're ruining really great situations. Okay, and this is why the House of Swans has to exist, because that girl didn't have a community to go in and say, this is what's happening with my boyfriend right now. How do I address it? She addressed it in the typical low value chicken duckling way and lost my client. And this has been happening with my guy clients. And what I'm going to be teaching you in the House of Swans and on this live, I'm not going to teach you how to get commitment from a low value idiot. Okay, I'm not going to teach you how to get any guy, because we're women. Most guys can be gotten, if you're pretty enough. I'm going to be teaching you how to attract and keep high quality, high value, high status men with an actual purpose, men with focus, and men who are ready for a wife, because that's a whole different category of men. And in that category, it's not teaming. It's not like there are billions of them. Okay. In this category, they're looking for very, very specific things. My clients have built their homes from scratch. They've built them mansions, and the only thing missing is a wife. Some are not necessarily wealthy, but they're men of stature, purpose, men of standing. They've got what they need, but now they're looking for the woman who's going to be their co-pilot. And I cannot tell you how many of us are just lacking and think we got this. Some of us just really think we got this because we follow on YouTube. One of the girls on the House of Swans said to me, I'm so glad I came into the House of Swans, because I just thought your YouTube channel was enough. I wish I had actually, engaged earlier. Because what I'm going to be sharing in the House of Swans, I won't share out here, because I just don't need the smoke. Okay? I don't need the smoke. Number two, not only do I not need the smoke, some things need an explanation. Some things need a sit-down conversation. Some things are a 2-hour conversation so you understand. And I don't have 2 hours to have, these kinds of conversations. So I'm going to keep, content here fairly light, and understanding that it's going to be misunderstood. Okay. And I'm going to, keep serving you the best I can. I will save it, I promise. I'm going to keep serving you the best that I can. But I honestly would love, at least hint it. No, I will share what I believe that, you can handle on this side. But I beseech you to get your behinds into the House of Swans. It's 25% off your first month. Go get into the House of Swans, and let's start having mom-daughter conversations. You see, I come from a culture where we have a rite of passage to womanhood. Okay, when a woman, and for those of you who don't know, I'm Zimbabwean British. I was raised in Zimbabwe up to the age of 18, and I lived very much in African culture. So a lot of my roots and my foundations are very African, but I have been British for over 30 years. So, and Zimbabweans and Britishness meld really well. We tend to share similar values and conduct. So it was an easier kind of, transition. But going back to my culture, when you get into puberty, an auntie comes over, your mom will invite your aunt to come over. And usually that is your father's sister, which we call Tete. And her job is to equip you for being a wife, a lover, and a woman. Okay, so she will teach you everything about feminine hygiene. She will teach you how to make love. She will teach you how to handle a man's body. She will teach you how to move in the world. She will teach you how to, in essence, win with men. Okay, so this is the information you're getting from your auntie is passed down verbally from generation to generation. We don't have platforms like this to share stuff like that. It's stuff that is passed down, secrets that women have developed over the generations that are passed down to you as a young lady who was in puberty, because of course you're expected to remain pure and only have sex with the man that you're married to, but they don't want you to be incompetent. So I am telling you something. There's some African chicks, if you lose your man to them, you're screwed, okay? Because they know how to navigate a man's psychology, a man's body, a man's mind. And this is something that I would probably say every African girl, at least a Zimbabwean girl who was raised in a traditional family, which is most of us, would go through. I went through it. My mom asked my auntie to come. She sat us down. She taught us the basics. Some cultures go away to camps. It's serious. We take it very seriously. And I share this with you because I understand that many of us are coming from cultures where this is not even done. We're having to make it up. We're having to make womanhood up and having to make up how to be around a man and how to navigate, how to, even so a lot of what I share on here for some of you girls is alien. It's like, what? For me, this is stuff that was passed down to me. And I've made my mistakes and now I'm an expert enough. I know my stuff. I know the science. I know the art. I know the skill combined with my history and my training. I'm really here to pour on you, okay? But I'm not going to fight with you. I'm really not going to be in these here comments fighting with you to help you. So I'm only going to really give the real depth and the real stuff to the women that are committed to themselves, and those are the women that are in the House of Swans, because there is a membership level for everyone. No excuses. I'm sorry, girls, no excuses, okay? Give yourself a chance, okay, to invest in yourself for once in your life and show up for yourself. Give yourself 12 months. Okay, and that is point number 1. Okay. Daughter of diaspora said, I was taught absolutely nothing about men or womanhood, learning at 43. Absolutely. It's funny, reality is alien nowadays. Yes, right? So that's point number 1. The dating rules for 2025 is to get prepared. If you were not preparing in 2024, you won't be ready to attract a husband in 25. I hate to break it to you. Can you attract a man in 2025? Yes, you can. Can you attract attention in 2025? Yes, you can. But a husband is a vibrational frequency. A wife is a vibrational frequency, okay? It is a whole thing, a whole mindset. And if you don't have the mindset and if you don't have the training, you're gonna move wrong in the world. I have met through my clients, through my guy friends who come to me and say, Chengi, what's going on with this girl? So many beautiful, kind, sweet women that honestly would be black swans, but making the most stupid mistakes and moving in a situation that a man is determining to be long-term. He's out here. He is looking for a woman who's vibrating at a long-term frequency, a woman who carries herself like somebody who is looking for a long-term frequency. And she is so busy and has spent so much time dealing with boyfriends and learning game that is relevant to dating and nothing to do with being a wife. You have to understand something, beloved. Dating and marriage are 2 different worlds, 2 different universes, 2 different entities. And until you've been married, or if you've never been married, you don't know how to position yourself in the dating world, okay? This is why I wrote the book, Position for I Do, How God Delivers Mr. Right When You Live with Power and Purpose, because it's all about positioning. The way you date for a bit of fun, for a bit of casual, for a bit of attention, for a boyfriend is not the way you date if you want to be a wife, if you want a man to take you seriously. There is a way that you move and there's a vibrational frequency. And I've got this in the Energy Mastery Masterclass, which you will access if you become a member of the House of Swans, okay? In the Energy Mastery Masterclass, I teach a lot about vibrational frequencies. I teach a lot about how to shift your vibrational frequency. And I've spoken about this on lives on here. I've spoken about it on YouTube. No excuses. 2025 is the year where I'm not taking any excuses, girls. Okay? We're not doing that. All right? We're not doing that. Because there's so much knowledge I've given for free. My channel has got thousands of videos. My Instagram is loaded with content. There's just no excuse. So let's get back to vibrational frequency. You will never attract somebody who is not on your frequency. And the truth is, it's not your fault, baby girls. No one ever taught you how to date. No one sat you down. Nobody taught you how a man thinks psychologically when he is in long-term relationship seeking space, and how he functions when he's just looking for something casual. You all think it's the same thing. You all think that you can turn the page. You all think you can behave the same way, and you can't. You can't play games with a man who's looking for a long-term relationship. You better know how to move, okay? You better know how to move when a king is in your face. You better know how to address a king when he's in your face, because a king won't tolerate what a clown will. All of this way you've been dealing with men, you run your mouth, you open your mouth, the wrong thing comes out of your mouth. That's something that a player and a clown will tolerate. Let me tell you something. Men will tolerate a lot of BS if they just want to get into your knickers. They won't tolerate an ounce of BS if they're looking for a mate for long term. And if you've just been practicing and playing with short-term partners and idiots that you can disrespect, and they still come back for more, you think, I can just, these men, I can talk to them any kind of way and he'll still come back for more. You gotta treat them mean and keep them keen. Honey, not a husband. Not a husband, not a man who values himself, not a man who's been working on himself. You bring that to the table and your behind is going to be on these streets. And you know what about men, unlike women, because when we reject a man, we're just like, bye. Men are not like that. They just put you in the, in the casual, they'll pursue you still, they'll put you in there, they'll sleep with you, they'll play game on you and they've already written you off. So I need you in this new year to make a decision, okay, to get prepared. Because some of us have prayed. Some of us went to church last night, praying through the night. Some of us journaled, cried out to God, where's my husband? Where is he, God? I've been waiting and praying. Some of us have done incense and gone to the mountain. We've done all kind of spiritual exercises. But that's called spiritual bypassing, because if you don't have the tools, the psychology, the skills, the art, and the training for a husband, you will only attract boyfriends this year, because that is your vibrational frequency. And if you do attract a husband, you're going to bring girlfriend energy instead of wife energy, okay? And if you think you're going to scam the system, okay, and do it with no investment, just, do it with no investment. I'm just going to be, I'm just going to see if I can just snatch a bit here and snatch a bit there. I'm sorry, baby. We all pay the piper. We all pay the piper. When I need services, I have to pay. When I'm serious about changing my life, I pay coaches, I pay therapists, I pay people who are going to help me change my life, because I understand that no matter how much content of theirs I take in. So I want you to make a decision today on the 1st. Join the House of Swans. Book a complimentary call. Do something today that is going to show, that is going to speak to you about your future. Prepare. That is point number 1. Marriage is for the prepared. Prepare. Don't let a husband come and find you and you're still behaving like you're from these streets. Don't let that be your story. And sadly, girls, so many of us think we're that girl, but we're not. We're not. And it breaks my heart when my clients are like, oh, then she did this. Then she started playing games, or she said this, or... Okay? Because you get one shot with quality men. Just like you get one shot with a quality woman. I don't give second chances. Your behind had better recognize when you're dealing with somebody of status and value and self-worth and self-respect. You better recognize as a man when you're dealing with a black swan that this is a rare creature. If you want to bring game, you'll be yesterday's news, because I'm not on it. I will elegantly live your life. I don't have the time to be giving second chances to grown men, because I carry myself and invest in myself in such a way that I don't have time. It's the same with men. men who have been to therapy, men who are healing, men who are selective, men who are being disciplined with their sexuality, you don't get second, third chances. You get one shot. And I want you to hit bullseye, okay? And you're going to do that through training, education, and learning some things. And stop coming to my page to educate me, okay? Because you have been conditioned by the systems of this world to think like girlfriends, to think like this system is not designed for marriage. What you've been taught in magazines, what you're being taught on the internet, some of these influencers you're following, they don't train you to be a wife. And guess what? You don't become a wife when a ring is on your finger. The Bible says he who finds a wife, that means she's already in that vibrational frequency, finds a good thing. Okay, so if you are not in the vibrational frequency, if you're still pushing back at some of the stuff I'm telling you, which is a basic, trust me, if I'm sharing something on Instagram, it's basic knowledge. Like, you should already know this. Like, it's basic. What I'll be sharing in the House of Swans, that's deep stuff. That's like deep stuff. And if you can't handle it out here, you're not ready. Because the realities of being a wife, they're not child's play. The reality of being a wife, of being an active participant in a healthy marriage, it's not for little girls. It's not for little girls. And there are no degrees out there that are going to teach you how to be a wife. There are no degrees. I had a girl yelling and screaming at me at the post because she's a PhD at the UCLA and she couldn't understand a basic concept because they don't give you degrees for wisdom. They don't give you degrees for ancient wisdom. You can't get a degree in wisdom. You can't get a degree in maturity. Okay? This is something that is not available. Coaches are the sages, the ones that come and teach you ancient wisdom. We're not here to be giving you little strategies. We're here to equip you. I have an assignment to help 1 billion women create healthy love lives. That is going to take work because we're conditioned off. Okay, so make a decision. Point number 1, to prepare yourself. For some of you, the preparation might be a year. For some of you, the preparation might be 3 years. For some of you, the preparation may be a month because maybe you've been doing some good work. Maybe you've been investing. Maybe you've been doing the courses. Maybe you've been showing up for yourself. Okay? Maybe you've been really that girl. And now you just need tweaking. You just need tweaking, right? So if you have been, making that effort, so your preparation might be a month. Yours might be 3 months. We don't know until we start to do the work. I'm going to tell you this. Whether you join House of Swans or not, get on a complimentary call with one of the coaches. Start this year with a conversation with a professional so at least we can map out where you are. And your coach can say to you, baby girl, this is going to be a 3-month journey, a 6-month journey, a year's journey. Actually, you just need a little bit of tweaking. Get that plan penned down. Have that conversation. It's free. You can come back and invest later. But have an idea of where you are. Because the feeling your way in the dark thing, it's not going to yield results. Okay? We have to be intentional and we have to be deliberate about what we want to try and achieve in 2025. Can I get an amen? Okay, so that's point number 1, be prepared. Point number 2 is super, super, super important. I want you to do something today. I want you to audit 2024. We're still on the vibrational frequency thing, okay? I want you to audit 2024, and here's what I want you to do. On all of your social media, there is a function where you can look at your activity in the whole year. So on Instagram, on YouTube, you can go and find, on Instagram, you go to your settings, there's 3 marks, it goes to your activity and it will show you everything you have saved, everything you have liked, everything you've interacted with in 2024. This is a very important exercise. and stuff that I will go deeply into in the House of Swans. But I'm going to leave you with enough to get started, and if you do it really well, to even make a difference. Okay. Everything, where we are coming from, is so important. You will never sit in front of my coaches or myself and we will not do a full-blown investigation of where you're coming from. A lot of us believe that, oh, I've made my mistakes, I've been out here in the streets and now I give my heart to Jesus, or now I've decided I'm going to be serious, and here I am, and the man I meet should just accept me for who I am because I've changed my mind, I've changed my direction, I'm a new woman, and anybody who judges me on my past is not worthy of me, they don't deserve to be in my life, and then we stand in our soapbox and we feel good. But I want you to know another very difficult, painful truth. Where you come from, where you have been, matters. I'm going to pause and make you think about that. And if there's something in your spirit that's like, you silly cow, no, it doesn't, we should be able to, because Jesus says, no, there's no Jesus here. Okay? You're not trying to marry Jesus. Okay? You're not trying to marry Gandhi or any, saint. You're trying to marry a man who has invested in himself, made sacrifices to be the man that he is proud of. Where you come from matters. And guess what? Where he comes from matters. Why? Because we are the sum total of every decision we have made. And every decision we have made is a sum total of every belief we have believed. And every belief we have believed is a sum total of all the activities we've done, the things we've engaged in, the appetites we have, the ways that we think, the experiences we've been through shape who you are today. Guess what? When we are living life, we're not just living. We're firing neurons. We're developing neurological pathways. Our brains are shifting and changing. Okay? The brain changes itself. It's called neuroplasty. Why does the brain change itself? Because it has a subconscious protocol for survival. Your mind will change itself to survive whatever environment you have exposed it to. All right? So this is what we call neurological pathways. It means that your brain, when you were shagging around, sleeping around, here's the thing, when a woman is sleeping around, she accesses men of a higher level of attractiveness or even higher quality in terms of good looking, moneyed, all of these things. If you are having sex casually, you are going to access higher guys. But those guys are not trying to be your man, and they know it. These guys with a lot of money, who are good looking, will shag women that are lower than them because they're just looking for a little bit of fun. They're looking for a gap filler. The problem is when you are laying there and you are looking at this fine man, okay, your brain is shifting, is firing new neurons. Your brain is saying, oh, this is what we can have. This is what we're capable of achieving. This is called being alpha widowed. You have been so promiscuous or so careless, and you've been moving through the world like a girlfriend, getting laid by men who would never ever consider you as a wife. Not because you are not a good person, not because you're not beautiful, not because you're not smart, but because you move like a girlfriend. You move like you're from the streets. I've done it. I've moved like I'm from the streets because I was told by my crappy friends that's, at the time, they're not crappy friends, I love them, but they gave me bad advice. I thought, okay, this is what it's done. I didn't know anything. I got married at 19 and I'm 30 now, so I got no idea what I'm doing. It's easy to be misunderstood. which is why education is so important. And so you've now accessed this guy, and now you want to get married, and you think you can access that guy? You can't, baby. No. Because there's a way that the woman he is looking to be his wife and the mother of his kids or his long-term companion, there's a way she moves in the world and has moved in the world prior to meeting him that he's interested in, not Miss I repented yesterday. Okay? So your brain is now firing different types of neurons. You are now convinced that you deserve what you don't deserve. Number one. Number two, your brain is wired to believe that your experiences are actually the real and the reality, and that through the experiences you had, you do a little bit more of that and you'll eventually get to your goal. When I'm saying to you, we need to fire and wire completely different neurological pathways. But how do we start that journey unless we do I can't find the word, until we look back to where we've been. Because where we've been carries the patterns of who we are and gives us an idea of how our subconscious is programmed. Looking back gives us 20/20 vision, okay? This is so important because you can map where you are based on where you've been. I want you to think about this. What, if you go into your Instagram, like I said, and go into your activity, what posts have you been liking? I just want you to look at the content that has been a part of your world for the last 12 months and tell me what kind of person, if you were judging yourself, okay? If you were judging yourself and you are not you, and you see a screenshot of every one of the activities, of your past, your engagement, because liking posts and saving posts is an act of subconscious approval. Okay, so if I see something really funny, I approve of it, I put a like. If I see a comment or a picture or something I really like, I approve of it, because liking is approval, love is acceptance. Okay, to love something is to accept it, to like something is to approve of it. So you were liking, and guess what? There's a whole record of what you've been liking, all right? And I want you to go to that record and ask yourself, if I were not me and I was just observing this person's record, what would I say about her? Let's turn it around. Let me give you an example. If the man you were dating showed you his 12 months of likes and approval of the content he's been taking in, because it's changing our brains, okay? So content changes our brains. I'm very careful about what goes on my feed. Trust me, if I follow you, I respect you for something or the other. I don't follow willy-nilly. I don't follow because you followed me. I don't play that game, okay? If I follow you, there's something about you that I respect, like, or can learn from, because I understand that everything I see, the Bible says, your eyes are the eye gate. Whatever you allow into your eyes, you allow into your heart. I don't mess with what I hear and what I see, okay? Whether it's Netflix or music or whatever, I don't play with that, because I understand how the brain works. So let's get back to this guy. And on his feed, he follows every boob and butt girl. Okay, I'm gonna keep it PG, okay? Every single one of the people he follows are these OnlyFans models, Instagram models, bottom in the camera, fitness models who have their behinds all up in the camera and giving all of these kind of poses. And this guy, his whole interaction, 3/4 of that interaction is just him liking tits and bum. Tits and bum, tits and bum, tits and bum, okay? And then 1/3 of his stuff is all red pill stuff. These women, these women, these women, these women, okay? And then maybe the other third is peppered with a little bit of Jesus stuff and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I want you to make a judgment on this guy. If this guy comes and says, I am looking for a wife, can you tell me in the comments, are you going to think that's a man looking for a wife? Tell me, what are your thoughts? Tell me in the comments. His Instagram has got tits and bits. These girls are gyrating. These girls are twerking. These girls have got, we can see their uterus, okay? The camera, we're all gynecologists now because we can see all the way up. And this guy, he's for the streets. But what if he says, but I'm ready to settle down now. I'm looking for a wife. I'm done with the streets. I'm looking for a wife. But you see that history. For the last 12 months, you see that history. Daughter of the diaspora says he is for the streets. LOL, gynecologist. Yeah. Nope. He's incongruent. Yes. He's incongruent. If you see a guy like that and he's like, I'm looking for my wife now, I'm ready to get married, but we are looking at your feed, we're looking at your likes, we're looking at your interaction, and it's got nothing but OF models, Instagram models, tits and bits, vulgarity of all sorts. Even your sense of humor is just disgusting. Now I want you to flip that. He's out of frequency. He's incoherent. Yes. You would be a fool to choose that guy. You would be a fool to believe that he wants. Why? Because the science tells us that we're attracted to who we are. We tell ourselves a whole bunch of things. Oh, I want to be slim. I want to lose a pound. I want to have that body this year. Okay. But the truth is in your fridge. The truth is in your activity. Okay, if you don't go to the gym, if your content does not have fitness experts, nutrition experts, you are lying to yourself. And this is human nature. It's not like judgment. It's human nature. When we're incoherent, when we're incongruent, when we have dissonance, when we are lying to ourselves, it's evident to see. That is why I want you to go to your activity, either YouTube or Instagram. And I want you to look at the posts that you've engaged in. I want you to look at where you have spent your time, where you have been approving. And I want you to judge yourself. Because, listen, Jesus said, who do you say I am? They said, you're some... No, that's not the scripture. The scripture where he says, I know I can speak of myself because I know where I'm coming from and I know where I'm going. You can't speak of yourself. If Christ says, I can speak of myself because I know where I'm coming from and I know where I'm going. Can you speak of yourself? Do you know where you're coming from? Because you might say you know where you're going, but you need to know where you're coming from. Where are you coming from? You want to be a wife this year? Where are you coming from? What have you approved of in 2024? What is in your... The beautiful thing about the digital world is it keeps data. I always say to people, if you want to recommend a man to me, okay, because there are always people trying to set me up. You want to set me up with a guy? I want you to ask that guy to take a screenshot of his online activity, send it to you, and if in that activity you see tits, butts, and and all kind of crazy, do not introduce that man to me. Because we're not in alignment. Because let me tell you what my feed looks like. I looked at it this morning. My feed looks like inspiration. My feed looks like health and wellness. My feed looks like comedians that actually have really great jokes. My feed looks like my friends that I love. My feed looks like people that I want to become one day. That's my feed. If I were to take a screenshot of my activity, I might do, and I might put it in my stories, okay? You will see that I follow people, that I ingest, that I live out the truth of my convictions. I don't follow men with the 7-pack, licking their lips and letting us all know that they're the hottest thing. I don't approve. I don't follow. I'm not interested. But I'm still a woman. I'm still gonna look. I'm gonna be like, he's cute. But I'm very careful about what I engage in. I'm not perfect. I'm not claiming to be perfect. But I'm saying, are you proud of what's in your activity for 2024? Are you proud of yourself? Does that woman move? Does she move like a wife? Does she move like a keeper? Because baby, your subconscious mind will always tell you who you are. The subconscious mind is subconscious, as in we don't know who we are. We don't know how we're showing up in the world, but the subconscious mind always leaves clues. Your subconscious mind will always leave clues. So go and look. You will be surprised. And judge yourself. Because you know what? Sometimes we judge ourselves on the wrong premise. We judge ourselves compared to that person. Oh, am I beautiful compared to Nadine? Am I beautiful? Am I kind compared to Unique? Am I whatever compared to that person? But can you compare yourself to yourself? Can you compare who you want to be in the world, what you want to achieve in the world, to who you've been? Can you say, this is the sum total of my decisions? And then what I'm going to ask you to do, and this is the coaching part, I want you to look through your posts. And I want you to look at every post you're not proud of. And I want you to unlike. Go and unlike it. And I want you to do this on 2 levels. I want you to do it as a cleansing ritual. Okay. Yes, it's a mirror to our own state. Yes, Coach Nadine, we're mirroring our own state. And sometimes we have to look at the ugly truths. So I want you to go and say, look, if this has been my 2024, what do I want to get rid of? And I want you to do it as a spiritual cleansing and unlike. And say to yourself, I'm no longer her. I am this woman. I am a wife now. I'm a long-term girl. I want you to go and look and unlike every post that no longer represents who you are in 2025. I want you to go and everything that you are ashamed of and anything that you think somebody coming into your life who's worked on themselves, respects themselves, will judge you on, I need you to get rid of it. But I want you to do it as a cleansing. I want you to say, you know what, I'm cleansing myself of who I've been, of the bad things I've been, or the things that I'm not so. I want you to be proud of you. Because unless you're proud of you, you will not present right. And when you've done that, I want you to go into your DMs. Okay? And I want you to look at your DMs and think, what are the conversations I've had that I'm not proud of? And I want you to delete them. Because we're cleansing, okay? We're doing an audit of ourselves and we're cleansing. And when you've done that, I want you to go on your feed, your current feed, and audit what you are putting out into the world. I know some of you wanted to hear in 2025, we're not taking any nonsense from any man, but that's not me. That's not the Black Swan. I'm here to prepare you to be a king's wife, a lord's wife, a sir's wife, a ruler's wife, an elite man's wife. I'm not here to teach you to be a regular, idiot man's wife. Because guess what? There's a man willing to marry you so that you can look after him. There's a man looking to marry you so you can give him an ego stroke. There's a man willing to marry you because nobody else will have him. There's a man willing to marry you because he has nothing to offer. But if you want a man that is going to take care of you, that's going to prioritize you, that's going to honor you, that's going to make your journey worthwhile, then this is the video you need to be watching. This is the content you need to be ingesting. I'm not here to tell you all those things. They're all in the dating playbook. I've written everything. I have masterclasses on everything. And we've got the hustles ones for that. We can do the technical, the strategy in there all day, every day. But I am here to adjust your thinking, because 2025, 26, 27, 28 is for those who are elevated. It's for those who are on a high vibrational frequency. You're not going to make it in business, in love, in life, unless you are vibrating on a high vibrational frequency. And that's what this video is to do. I need you to audit yourself. I need you to audit your past. This is for men and women. A lot of men, can you talk to me directly? Yes, you can. You'll have to book a call though. Okay. A lot of men, but you'd have to go through a complimentary call first, and then my coaches can decide whether I should speak to you or not, because I'm not as available as I would like to be. Even the man you're going to date, I want you to go and look at his content. Look at who he follows. And when you go through all the people that he follows, if you're dating a guy, if a guy is trying to DM you and trying to talk to you, go to his page. Look at the women that he follows. Look at the men that he follows. Look at the posts that he approves, because he's already told you everything that he is. He's already told you. Now, if you want to be delusional, okay, and think that because you are so special, he's going to change for you, you go right ahead. But we live in a world now that's amazing. We can, and even if you do want to engage with him anyway, you got sense. Thank you, Coach Nadine, for putting the link up for the complimentary call. Or you can just comment help on any of my posts, and you'll be able to do a complimentary call. And then whichever coach you have, if you want to speak to me, they will give you the link to me. Let's do our research. Let's not waste our hearts on useless men. Let's not waste our hearts on men who are like, I'm looking for a wife, but there's no evidence of it. When we follow you and we follow the girls you're following, every girl you're following has got the ass and tits and bits on these here streets. But you were talking about you want to marry? Why aren't there any elegant women on your feed? Why aren't there any women of stature, of value? Why? Or why is there two and it's your auntie and your friend? Why isn't yours your history, sir? Why does it not speak of a story of a man who was ready to take responsibility? Because to be a husband is to take on responsibility for a wife, for children, for everything. You're taking on responsibility. But when I look at your feed, your activity, the things you're approving of, they tell me that you're still a boy, that you're still chasing your tail, you're still chasing your desires. So don't come and talk to me about I want to be a husband when I can't see evidence. And that goes for us girls. Stop talking about I want to be a wife when we can't see any evidence. Okay, number 2. This is a little bit more fun. We're going to switch gears a little bit. In 2025, number 3 is I want you to signal more. I want you to signal more. And what I've just shared before, that's going to help you signal more. Because what do I mean by signal? It's how a feminine woman shoots her shot. Okay. This year, we are going to do the analysis on ourselves and on the men that we like. And I want you to choose 10 guys, 20 that you like on Instagram. You admire them, you like them, you think they're great. And then you're going to signal them. Okay, you are going to create opportunity for interaction. You are going to do that in a high value feminine way. And that's maybe by commenting in their stories, or, putting a little fire emoji in the stories. I want you to open up a situation where you can have some interaction. If he doesn't speak to you, let that go. Do not pursue. Okay, you're just inviting a man to have a conversation with you. You want to do more of that. Because, truth be told, just sitting there passively and hoping that the world would be a better place because of it is probably not a great strategy. Okay, this is a great way, especially on social media, and that's on social media. But even offline, I want you to go flirt. Okay, and the masterclass for that is the Flirt and Date Masterclass. and the dating playbook. Okay, the Flirt and Date Masterclass and the dating playbook are going to teach you everything you need to know, piece by piece, about how to do what I've just said. But we're taking love into our own hands, right? Yeah, we're not just going to wait for it to happen. So we're going to do the auditing of ourselves and of these said gentlemen. And then we're going to invite them to have a conversation or invite them to pursue us. Okay. So that's what we're doing. For those of us who have private accounts, if you are single and you will have an Instagram account or a social media account, and you've got a beautiful profile picture and you're going around and you are, commenting and liking and having these interactions on social media, and your account is private, you are writing off 95% of potential people who may want to speak to you. Because guess what a guy's going to do? He's going to see your comment, oh, she's a smart girl. He's going to look at your picture, she pretty. He's going to go to your account private. So now you want him to request to be let in. Quality men are not going to do that. They're not. They're just not going to put themselves in a situation where we haven't had a read on you. He can't have a read on you. He needs to have an initial read on you. Now, if you want your private account for family and friends, do that. That's fine. But you need to curate a public Instagram completely separate. Okay? Completely separate. That is public. That is like your shop front for who you are. It's going to show your energy. It's going to show your true lifestyle. It's not going to be an Instagram that is all shiny, shiny, glossy, glossy. Look at me. It's going to be an Instagram that speaks to your essence, that tells a man who you are. So if you love reading, if you love walking, if you love cooking, if you walk around, whatever, who are you behind the scenes? Who are you? And in those first 12 pictures, a man will take a snapshot of the kind of woman that you are. If you like to party, you got to put it in there so that he knows what he's dealing with. If you like bowls and galas and elegant things, if you like dinners, if you like food, then create it and curate it around you and what you love and make it public. So in 2025, I suggest that we choose to go public. Okay? That is my challenge to you. Go public. Create and curate. Now, in the House of Swans, we'll be helping you do that. If you need help curating that, we will help you out in the House of Swans. I think we might even just make that a January thing for now, and see if we can help you curate your Instagram. All right. I've kind of touched on this already, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but a lot of us are oblivious to how we present. And some of us present as playthings, yet we want to be wives. There's a very slim, very delicate balance here, girls. There's a very delicate balance with being sexy and sensual and thirsty and too much, okay? And this is where you need somebody who is not in your world to help you figure this out. But I'm just going to give you a few tips. Turn around. We do not want to see your behind, okay? Okay? We don't want to see your behind. You're beautiful. Let's see that face. Let's see that body shape, but we don't want to see your behind in the camera. That's a nice little tip for you. Lying down. We want to, no. I can't tell you how many of you beauties comment on my posts love my work. I love you too. Let me go check out this girl. I like her vibe. And it's just bottom on different angles. That tells me you are not mothered. It tells me that you don't have older women in your life who love you and who care about you, who would tell you, baby, no one's wifing that. I'm telling you, some of us are so confused. We think getting attention is attraction. We think getting attention is gonna give us more options to be chosen. No, baby. You are attracting the kind of attention, okay, that will only make men want to deal with that on a sexual level, not a long-term relationship level. And I know it's culture. I know we think it's cute. And especially for us fitness girlies, okay? I'm not a fitness girly, but I have seen a lot of fitness influencers. You are shooting yourself in the foot with some of your content. And I know you think, oh, because, no, baby. Mm-mm. That will be a no. There are ways that we can film things and angles that we can take that are actually helpful. There are fitness content experts on Instagram that are sexy, that are beautiful, that look amazing and still look classy and still look elegant. Be careful, okay, with the difference. Understand the difference. Number 5, we're gonna learn how to be an asset woman, okay? Asset woman. 2025, we learn how to be an asset woman. What do I mean by that? High value men can access beauty. Men of quality access beauty very easily. Wealthy men access beauty easily. But very few of them can access a woman who will become an asset. A woman who will elevate their status. A woman who can contribute to his bottom line. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. These women are insanely difficult to access because most women trade on looks. A man of highest value wants to acquire an asset. He's already slept with everything that is beautiful. He's already slept with everyone that's got a booty that is as big as a whatever and one who's as flat as a pancake. Been there, done that. He's got all of that sexual experience. But your job this year is to become an asset. Okay, I'm going to talk about that more in the House of Swans or maybe in another live. Number 6, we're going to develop the art of appreciation. I cannot emphasize this enough to you, darlings, but men thrive on being appreciated. You can never appreciate a man enough for everything he does for you. You must develop the appreciation muscle. And some of us have this thing. I don't want him to think that I've never been to such places. I don't want him to think it's the first time I've been here. Baby, I don't care if you've been on a yacht and a boat and in a castle. If this is the man that you're choosing to date and he's bringing you somewhere nice, appreciate it. Validate him. That's amazing. Thank you for bringing me here. It's so beautiful. The food is so great. I love your choice of da-da-da-da-da. Doesn't matter if you've been driven around in Lamborghinis and Bentleys and Rollses. I want you to appreciate his vehicle. What a lovely car. It's very comfortable. You drive really well. Oh my. You can never appreciate a man enough. And let me tell you something that a guy friend of mine said, who is very high value and is looking for a wife right now. And he says to me, there's a woman that he was dealing with. It didn't work out. But I said, what is it that made her, of all the women you've dated, and he dates really like baddies, really beautiful women, and even this woman that he was going to marry, gorgeous. So I said to him, what's the difference? What is it that made her stand out head and shoulders above the rest? And he said she appreciated everything I did for her. I wish that was the only time I'd had that conversation with men. He said, I took her on a 5-star holiday somewhere really amazing and fancy. And the whole way she told him how lucky she was. The whole way she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky, and thank you, and this is so beautiful, and just like, wow. And the girl is like as beautiful as a model. She's probably been to these places before. She's seen these things before, but she understood the power of appreciation. She made him feel like he had taken her to Buckingham Palace for lunch. You know, that's how she behaved. And I know some of us are like, oh, don't make a man think. Yeah, do make him think. Do make him think that everything that he does for you is appreciated, is seen, is recognized, is validated. If you do this one thing, if you don't do a thing I've told you to do on this video, and you do this one thing, it's going to set you apart, period. Because the world is full of narcissistic, entitled women. A woman that feels entitled is not hard to come by for a man. A woman that feels like she should be treated this way is honestly not hard to come by. But a woman that truly shows appreciation, he can see from looking at you. There's no man that's going to look at me and think this girl has never been in a Lambo, never been in a yacht. It's obvious that I have lived a little and that I have certain luxuries that I have enjoyed and enjoy. It's obvious. You just have to look at me, just have to spend time with me, and you know what time it is. But I will never act like any experience a man gives me, I'm used to it. Never. I will always behave as though this is the first time I have ever had this experience. And I'm not lying, because it's the first time I've had this experience with him. It's the first time I've had that experience where he has provided it. Not when I've provided it for myself, but when somebody else has gone into their heart and decided to provide an experience for me. And is that one unique person? Because he doesn't owe me an experience. Hi, darling. He doesn't owe me an experience. He doesn't owe me anything. So the fact that you went and you planned and you thought about giving me an experience that came from your heart, that I didn't ask for, that you thought would be good for me, I'm going to behave really blessed by that. We have nothing to prove. We don't have. Hi from Chile. Hi, darling. If you're that woman who just has to prove to a man that she's used to this, they're not on it. A man wants to feel like there's something that he can give to a woman. A man wants to feel like there's an experience he can provide. Even if a man has a picnic and he puts it all out there and goes and has a picnic and puts you on a river and it's wonderful and it's nice, act like it's amazing. Oh, you went through all this trouble for me. Oh, and you paid attention to the fact that I don't eat shellfish. And oh, these sandwiches are so lovely. Even if you bought them from the shop, they're so lovely. And oh, thank you so much. It's so lovely. Okay, what is it going to cost you? I mean, honestly, a lot of the things that we withhold from the people that we want to choose us, or people we want to build a life with, the things we're withholding from them emotionally, spiritually, mentally, they cost us nothing to give. It costs you nothing to be somebody that gives approval, or somebody that gives validation, that gives praise, that gives, what does it cost you to be that person? Even if nothing ever happens, be the girl who men commit to the woman that makes them feel good about themselves. that's the woman he's gonna marry. When I'm with her, I feel great. I feel like a man. You know, the amount of guys I've dated who said to me, Chinky, you make me feel like a man. It's not that he didn't feel like a man before, but it's like a breath of fresh air for them. They want to feel like, oh, okay, I'm validated. I give. He's gonna commit to the woman who makes him feel great about himself. In a world that makes him feel like a loser, in a world that makes him feel like he's a time waster, in a world that tells him he's nonsense and rubbish and useless and we don't want him. He's going to be drawn in to the woman that makes him feel good. You're going to be that one environment, that one space in his whole life that he craves, that he can't wait to be around, because around you, he is amazing. Around you is smart. Around you, everything he does means the world. You so appreciate him. You so appreciate his effort. You appreciate his investment. You appreciate everything that he does. And guess what that does for him? It makes him want to be more and do more for you. Some of us are like, oh, hi, darling. Some of us are like, oh, how do I get a man to up level his day? How can I get him to take me on better dates and, do more for me and give me more and invest more in me? Well, show validation. Make him feel amazing for the little that you think he's giving you. And this man will lay out the red carpet. Level Up Journey says, do you think women naturally do that around the one they like, though? Like it comes natural to us when we actually feel that way? Some women, yes, but most women, no. I think that when you are an authentic being who shows up in the world from your heart and live from your heart, this is a rare quality. A lot of women are listening to a lot of coaches who tell them to be nonchalant, to be distant, to not show a guy that he's impressing you, I think there's a lot of that game playing that I think a lot of women are not actually giving themselves an opportunity to show up from the heart place, to be girls, to have wonder in their eyes, because we're so afraid of being played. And the reason we're afraid of being played is because our vetting and selection systems are broken. So the guys we do that for are the guys that we feel safe around. And the guys we feel safe around are not necessarily safe men. They're just familiar. Right? Because our brains interpret familiarity as safety. Because that's how we're wired. Right? Familiarity and safety feel like the same thing, but they're not. He's just familiar. So a lot of us will be like gooey-eyed to a player or a joker because we're used to that. But when you're with a gentleman and you can feel that this is a man who is self-respecting, this is a man who loves himself, knows himself, is ready to commit and be in a relationship with a woman, and you are acting stush because you don't want him to think that this is the first time you've ever been in a nice restaurant. You're going to lose out to the average looking girl who just thinks everything he does is amazing. It's just how it is. And these men are not short of options. I hate to say it, but they're not. The guys I deal with, the guys that I coach, the guys that are my friends, they are not short of options. Trust. Listen, they send me the pictures of the girl they're dating and I'm thinking, whew, she fine, okay? And they've got them on a rotation. So all of this is not setting you apart, darling. He doesn't need that. He's already got 10 women doing that. Be there, be present, show up. show up as a feminine woman, show up as fun and flirtatious, and show up and be just happy and appreciate everything he does. Everything. He opens the door for you. Thank you. He pulls out the chair for you. Thank you. Everything he does. He orders for you. Thank you. He gets the jacket for you after dinner. Thank you. Oh, you're such a gentleman. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're going to thank the living daylight out of him. You're going to appreciate him. And he's going to feel good about himself, because he's going to be like, this girl appreciates everything I do. I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to up my game, because if she's already grateful for this, how much more when I do that and that and that. And now he's in competition with himself to outdo himself. Now he's thinking, I need to keep her. I need to keep this girl, because I'm not going to find another one like her. Because when he's going on date 3 with Miss Stush, so you're asking him all these interview questions. Have you been to therapy? And how long have you been in therapy? That's not dating, honey. Dating is when we come, we have a bit of fun, we flirt, we get to see what the vibe is. Can we have a giggle? Can we have a laugh? Do we even just like each other? We're coming with the hard and heavy questions. Some of these days we're coming with an interview pad because we want to save ourselves time. We don't waste time with no losers. Sweetie, that's not how we do it, okay? Even in flirtation, even in playfulness, even in showing up in normal ways. Have you been to therapy? That's ladies coach Greta, my darling friend. Even in these lighthearted things, we can see a person. If you observe, you can see. It doesn't have to be... Greta says, how to lose a guy with one question. Exactly. This girl makes me laugh. I need to call you, girl. I will, I promise. But yeah, we're out here asking these heavy questions. So, were your parents married? Why did your mother not marry? What's your relationship with your mother? Have you got any trauma I need to know anything about? Can you tell me about your childhood trauma? Like, listen. How to lose a guy in one question. I love it. We're doing this kind of nonsense. That's not your job, baby. It's not your job. Your job is to raise attraction. It's to have fun. Have fun with him. Let's have fun. Let's chit chat. Let's tease each other. After 5 minutes, he will run. Yeah. We're coming too hot and heavy, okay? We're going to be light. We're going to be appreciative. We're going to be flirty. We're going to be like girly. We're going to be like, stop it. Yeah, that's how we date, okay? We're going to be girls. Maybe that's not your style, but whatever version of girl you are, bring her to the party, okay? We're going to do that a few times. We're going to do that a lot. And even when we get to the point where we're asking the heavy questions, we're not going to do it like... I've got these 50 questions from Black Swan Relationship Academy that every high value woman needs answered, because I've got 50 questions that you need to ask a man. And number 1 is as follows. We're not doing it that way, sweetie. No, honey. Okay? Mainly, we are answering his questions because it is the man that interviews the woman for a role in his life. Okay, because he's built this amazing life. He's built all the stability and all the security. And so he's interviewing to see if you would like to be part of his organization. So he's going to ask you more questions. Let him ask you more questions. All right. And you answer them in fun, flirtatious, honest ways, if you feel comfortable to. When you ask him a question, it's not going to be like notepad. You're going to be like, say... Tell me about your mom. Do you get your looks from your mom? Oh. Have you got a picture? Oh, are you really close? Oh, I like a man that's close to his mom. He's going to tell you, no, I'm not very close to her, I can't stand her, blah, blah, blah. Or, oh yeah, I love my mom, we do everything together. Whatever. And, and how is it with your dad? How about your dad? You're getting family history, but we're not doing the whole, we don't have to do that. We're going to be flirtatious. Say what you love doing. That's what we're doing, okay? That's what we're doing. That's what feminine women do, because masculine men love all that, and they don't want to feel like you're coming at them, okay? So our job is to appreciate, show up in our light, in our glory, in our fun, show a man appreciation. He's made the effort. He made the plans. He invited you. He overcame his anxiety and thought, I'm going to shoot my shot with that girl. And I'm going to try. And he kind of went, he won. You said yes, and he's excited, and he went and made a plan. And he doesn't know if the plan is any good, if it's going to meet your standards or not. He doesn't know. And then you come and just dush, and you're asking questions. Girl, bye. Okay? I love it. Thank you. I've been doing wrong all this time. Yes. Sorry. I'm glad somebody's learning something. I'm so proud of you. Super helpful. Good. Go by with that, because he'll just end up going with a girl that maybe he doesn't find as attractive as you, but she behaves right. And this is what I need y'all to understand, okay? So somebody's asking how to differentiate a man that is love bombing you from a man that is really falling for you. Here's the thing, girls. This whole love bombing thing going on, that's got women's knickers in a freaking twist. It doesn't matter if he's love bombing you or freaking not. It doesn't matter if he's, I love you, you're the woman of my dreams, and he sends 100 roses to your house and da 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 da. It doesn't matter. Do you know why it doesn't matter? Because you should have your set of protocols that you run on every man. You should have a certain number of questions that you need answered. And I'm not just talking about verbally. There's some verification you need to do. There's some behind the scenes audits you need to do. There's some things you need to do. A man is not responsible for your responsibilities. As a woman, you need to value yourself enough to know that you are not going to give your affections or your time to a man just because he's love bombing you. Love bomb the hell out of me. I'm telling you that now. You love bomb the hell out of me, because if you come at me with all of the good stuff and you send me roses and you send me flowers and you tell me I'm beautiful and I'm the most amazing woman in the world, honey, I'm gonna love that. Like, please. Because guess what? It's what men have done for millennia. All of this men holding back and not being generous, that's the weird stuff. Love bombing really is how men have courted women from the beginning of time. They have sent them flowers. Oh, you're beautiful. You fair maiden. They've written poems. They have seduced a woman. I want more of that. Come on, send me flowers wherever I am in the world. Find out where I am in the world. Send me flowers and tell me I'm beautiful and the most beautiful woman you've ever seen. And send me whatever. Just love bomb me. Love bomb the hell out of me. But don't for a minute think that I am not going to run checks on you. Don't for a minute think I am not going to go to your Instagram. I'm not going to go through the women you follow, through your likes. Don't for a minute think I'm not going to get recon on you. And don't for a minute think that there are questions that will go unanswered. Okay? So I've answered that question. Okay. So it's up to you, girls. You can spend your whole time thinking, is he love bombing me or is he being real? What do you care? Run your protocols. This is why. If I say to a black swan, this is somebody who has invested in the process, who's coaching with us or in the community, run your protocols. I have girls call me, Ching, this is what happened. Run your protocols. What are the protocols, girls? You have no idea because you're not invested. Not invested. So you have no protocols. You just date and you have no protocols. You have no protocols to figure out whether a man should have a permanent place in your life or not, because you're just so busy trying to be chosen. You don't have any protocols for who you will accept an offer from. You're so busy trying to get a man to choose you that you have no protocols for what would make you say yes to a suitor. You need to have protocols. Run your protocols. What are they? He told me he likes me, so he likes me. You're a dumbass. Okay, stop being stupid. But then they're emotionally unavailable and disappear when you start feeling in love. Well, that's because you're a silly woman. Look, the Bible says, and I'm not saying you specifically, darling, you're beautiful. I love you. Mama Swan loves you. If you're the kind of woman who just falls in love, the Bible calls you silly. Because women of any kind of virtue and any kind of standard guard their hearts. For from it flow the issues of life. Guarding your heart is not about closing your heart. Guarding your heart is not about having a walled up attitude. Guarding your heart is not about, I've got a problem and he's a man. No. Guarding your heart is having protocols. So I want you to think about this. When you go into really high-end establishments, okay, there's a guard at the door. The guard is not there to stop you from getting in. The guard is to verify the viability of you being able to get in. If you go to the diamond stores in Bond Street, I haven't been to any diamond stores here in wherever I've traveled to, because I'm on the move. And there's a security guard waiting outside, because some of these places you just can't walk in, okay? And the security guard, he's guarding the door. He is not blocking the door. And while he guards the door, he is vetting. Do you have an appointment, madam? Do you fit this criteria? Do you, can you prove your identity? Okay, you can come in. Maybe it's even just a club or a private members club or something. Have you got your whatevers? Okay. That's a protocol. It's called guarding, not blocking. We're not supposed to block our hearts by distrusting every man and not letting him spoil us and court us and love bomb us. Bloody hell, I think we need more love bombers as far as I'm concerned. I'd love to see the whole world of men love bombing. Okay? But do you have protocols? What is it you need to see? Consistency? Because you just said, because then they love you, then they disappear. That's data. Already, you're showing me, sir, that you are incapable of being consistent, which means you can't come in. Because here, where we are in this door, we're only dealing with people that are able to be consistent. Because that's my protocol. That is one of my core needs in a relationship. That is in alignment with my values. So therefore, the God will say, thank you very much, sir, for all the investment that you have made. But you are failing at very fundamental core needs. Again, something that you will learn as you become a student of the Black Swan. Thank you, Level Up Journey, right? So when we have that wisdom, we don't need to become anybody's victim. We don't need to go around thinking, I have clients like, oh, Chingy, how am I gonna know if this guy, he's 10 years younger than me. How do I know if he's serious? Run your protocols. Run your protocols. If his age is going to be at something block, you're going to see from the protocols. Okay? If he's man enough, he's going to pass your protocols. Run your protocols. Run your protocols if he's younger. Run your protocols if he's older. Run your protocols if he's rich. Run your protocols if he's poor. Run your protocols. What are your protocols? What are your Black Swan protocols? Black Swans know what I mean when I say Black Swan protocol. They know what I mean. Because if you've been part of this Black Swan universe and you've done the how to date, dating strategies, high value, if you've been part of this community or going to be part of this community, you will understand what I mean when I say run your protocols. Which leads me to point number 7, and then I'm going to call it a day. You can ask questions, just few, because I'm running low on ether. Okay. Number 7, we're going to treat every man exactly the same. We're not going to treat, in 2025, if we're dating for marriage, Nobody gets a pass, okay? The standard is the standard, and every single suitor, anyone in your DMs, anyone in your I don't care who they're coming from. I don't care how sexy they are. I don't care how much you like them. I don't care how much of a crush you've had on them, and now you're getting your chance. I don't care if they're the King of England, even though our King Charles is not the best looking man, so probably not, but it doesn't matter if he's the king of whatever. You must follow protocol. If it's not Black Swan protocol, what's your protocol? What are the basic requirements every man has to meet? Somebody asked me just a few minutes ago, I kind of read through it and I've gone it and I'm going to finish on this. What if the date he's offering is not up to par? That's data. That's data. What does your protocol say about it? I'd love to take you for a walk in the park. Okay. But you like to go for meals. You're open to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. That's your protocol. That's your standard. Why? Because you have a why behind it. It's not just arbitrary. It's not just, because I'm so deserving. No, why? I'll tell you why I like to eat. I'll tell you why I like to eat, because I love food and I feel provided for. And when a man puts a meal in front of me, I feel like he can provide for me. I feel so loved and I feel so cherished, and my heart is going to be more open to him than if he puts a coffee in my face. That's the truth. I'm going to just think, does he not like me? Okay, that has to do with generations. I am a Gen X, and that's just what's up. That's how we used to date, right? So if a man is trying to walk me in the park or give me a coffee, there's nothing wrong with that, girls. Each to their own. But I know I won't show up on that date as the full me. I'm not going to show up in my authentic, bubbly, beautiful self. I'm going to show up a bit anxious because I'm already now thinking, is he stingy? Because I love generosity. I'm a very generous soul. I give generously. So the person I want to be with is a generous soul. And I don't want him to be behoved to put some potatoes and chicken in my face. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be behoved to put a salad in my face. I don't want that man that I'm going to call husband to be behoved to do that. And some men think, okay, look, I don't know you yet to do that, but it's chicken. It's chicken, sir. Or steak. I mean, how well do you need to know me for us to break bread? I'm not saying this is the standard. I'm saying that that's my standard. So when somebody comes to me and kindly and politely offers me what is their standard, it's perfectly okay for me to say thank you for inviting me, but no thank you. I am not going to ask for an upgrade because already the vibrational frequency is off. I can't, I'm not going to earn the right to some chicken. I can't. I'm not. I'm just not prepared to audition for a meal. For me. But and the way that I date, I date very, very differently, even from the way that I teach you to date. Because I've got a very different set of circumstances, and I'm a public figure, and I'm a whole different person. You can't date the way I date, okay? At the level that I date, because life has just given me a set of cards that I have to play. I'm a public figure. I am me, right? And so the way that I date is I'm not out here dating every 2 seconds. I'm not on dates I'm not dating like that. So if I'm going to give you my time of day, if I'm going to give you my time, I honestly won't respect you if you have a hard time feeding me. Because to be my man, you're going to have to do way more than feed me. So if we're already kind of having a difficult conversation, and why does it have to be food? Because food is a love language for me. Now, walking is a passion for me. but I want to walk with my husband. I want to walk with my boyfriend. I want to walk with my long-term partner because it's an act of intimacy and closeness for me. I don't want to walk with a perfect stranger. I don't want to walk. And guess what? I like to look at a man in his face, and I want to read your body language, and I want to see you. And if you can't take the heat of sitting across the table or beside me and holding a conversation for an hour and a half, you can't be my man, because I am such a thinker. I am such a thinker, and I respect thinking men, and I respect men who are capable and competent of holding a conversation. So why am I walking and doing an activity with you when I value conversation more than I value bowling? It's about my own personal self-awareness. It's not about this arbitrary standard that I'm just so good and I'm just so amazing. Because you can be good, you can be amazing, but maybe bowling is for you because you're an active chick and you like to be active. Maybe walking is great for you because you like to trek and you open up more, you're more in your energy, you're more in your effervescence when you are active or walking in nature. You've got to choose that standard for who you are. Maybe for you, it's not the conversation that turns you on. It's other things. Maybe it's the adventure. If you're an adventure girl, why would you want to go to dinner? Why would that be a thing? You don't have to conform to a standard. Oh, just because Mama Swan likes to go to dinner, lunch or breakfast, food must be presented before me. Okay? Just because I like that and I value that and I cherish that and I respect a man who would do that for me, I just feel so loved. It's just so crazy. I feel like, oh, you want to feed me, you want to put food in my belly, you're such an amazing man. Okay. It's ridiculous, but that's what's up. Okay. Just because I like that doesn't mean that that's what you should like. If you're an active girl and you like to walk, and for you putting on some trainers and a t-shirt and some athleisure and taking a walk with a guy or taking a jog with a guy or working out with a guy is your thing, open your heart to that. Allow that man to invite you to work out with him or invite you to take a walk in the park. If you like ice cream, I don't set the rules for you. So when you say to me, what if it's subpar? Why is it subpar? Have you ever sat with yourself and asked yourself, what is it that I do want and why do I want it? For me, it will open my heart to the man. I am more likely to like him. I am more likely to be turned on by him. I am more likely to be open if he does that. It's not to do with, I don't want him. I can buy my own dinner. I can do a lot of things for myself, but it's the gesture for me that means something. What means something for you? A walk, a workout, coffee? For some of us, coffee's good. For some of us, and I've come a long way. I've evolved. Okay, because before I used to think my standard was the only standard there was to have. But I've met women who are women that I admire, that I love, that I think are great, who've told me, look, the first date, I want to go jogging with him. And I was like, why would you do that? Because for her, that's where she's safer. That's where she's more comfortable. That's where she feels alive. When she's running, she feels safe. So she always says to the guy, I'd love to have lunch with you, but is it okay if you met me at 6 a.m. for a jog instead, and then I can make up my mind? That is so cool. Ask for what you want. But if you were saying it's below par and you don't know why, somebody says jogging, no way. I know, I would never think of that. You're all individuals, you're special, you're unique. Honor yourself, honor your... You know what I'm going to do with my son today? Find somewhere to eat. Eating is such an important part of my life that I have to be in the gym almost every day. Okay, I love to eat. So I show my love through food. I feel love through food. It's an important part of my life. So you've got to think about your individual self. What makes you feel happy? What makes you feel safe? What environment is going to make you feel like, yeah, I like this guy. I'm going to be open to him. I'm going to get to know him. And then you treat everybody the same. You don't make one rule for Johnny and another one for Simon and another one for Paul, because not only is it not fair to men, and not only does it create this thing that women will do it for the man they want. which is problematic because now men are just doing whatever they like. If all women were like, no, we will treat you the same regardless, then men would show up at a high level regardless. But not only does it do that, but it, for the external world, it's no good for you because you are being inconsistent with yourself. Thank you, Vanessa. You are being consistent with yourself, and you deserve that. You owe that to yourself. Because when we are inconsistent with ourselves, we lose trust in ourselves. And when you lose trust in yourself, your decision-making protocols are ruined. The one person in the world you need to trust is you. The one person you need consistency from is you. But when you practice inconsistency and then insist that the people in your life be consistent, you are out of alignment. You are not in the right vibrational frequency because you will always attract those that are on your vibrational frequency. You're inconsistent with yourself. Today, I will, I'm not going to date a guy who, for instance, I'm a dinner girl. Okay, I'm a dinner, lunch, breakfast, anything that has food in it. I mean, you can take me to anywhere as long as food is being served. Okay, we've made that clear. Now, I decide, but I really like John because John is all that and a bag of chips plus the dip and he's so sexy. So he can take me for coffee. That's called self-betrayal. That is teaching my brain that I don't take myself seriously. That is teaching myself, my nervous system, that I don't value myself. So when I start acting thirsty with John, it's not because John is hot. It's because I don't value myself. When I start compromising my sexuality, my sexual access with John, it's not because I just think John is so hot. It's because I don't have congruency. I don't value my own decisions. I don't value my own things that I wrote down. I was talking to a friend last night, and we were talking about a certain gentleman. And I said to her, oh my God, he's so hot. I really, really like him. But I'm just not prepared to compromise my standard in this situation. And she was like, yeah, but I was like, there's no but. No. My standard informs me. I create the standard based on who I am, based on self-awareness. And he's hot. But I must honor my standard. See, my belly's like, can we eat now, please? Right? So, who are you? We treat all men the same because we are congruent. It doesn't matter if my knickers are wet just looking at you, sir. It doesn't matter if when you talk to me, my whole body just is on fire. And it doesn't matter if when I look at you, nothing happens. And it doesn't matter if I'm just thinking, let me give him a go. Everybody gets treated the same and is measured upon the same standard. If you date like this in 2025, if you pay attention to every single one of the 7 points and take them to heart, I will be at your wedding next year. I will be posting your engagement photograph on this very platform. I will be celebrating you. But if you think that I am out here I'm not, I had this girl who was really upset with me because how dare I say certain things, okay? And this is the life of content creators. I thought you were a girl's girl and you're teaching women to be pick-me's or whatever, because she didn't like one particular post that I did because, she obviously followed because she loved all the other stuff that I created, but not this particular post. How dare she? I'm unfollowing, I thought you were a girl's girl. And I thought, oh, you blessed little girl. Darlings, may I remind you, I'm not a girl's girl. I'm a relationship expert. I'm not a girl's girl. I am here to teach you women how to win in the game of love. I am not on the women's side. I am not on the men's side. I am on the side of healthy relationships. I am on the side of love. I am on the side of feminine and masculine dynamics. I am on the side of relational harmony. I am on the side of the science, the art, and the skill of relationships. And so, whether you like it or not, I'm not trying to be your girlfriend. We may very well end up being girlfriends, but this is not that. I did not create this work. I am not assigned to this work to be your girlfriend. I am not assigned to be a girl's girl. I'm not assigned to be one of your little buddies. I am assigned to teach you and to educate you on being competent and capable in relationships so that we can reestablish the broken family. That is my assignment. That means you're not going to love everything I have to say. That means I'm going to challenge you. That means I'm going to tell you things that make you feel good about you. That means I'm going to lift you up. And that means sometimes I'm going to say things that will break you. That means I'm going to challenge you. That means I'm going to hold you up. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to love you. And I'm going to smack you. Okay? Because I am loyal and faithful to my assignment. Because I stand before one. I stand before the one true God, the living God, the almighty God, and I have to daily give account. So I honestly don't care about whether you think I'm a girl's girl or not. And I honestly don't care if you need to unfollow. Because if you are assigned to me and I am assigned to you, then you are going to understand. The Bible says, in all of your getting, get understanding. Okay? Stop trying to make me your girlfriend. Stop trying to make me your buddy. Stop trying to be close to me so that you can be Mama Swan's favorite. That will naturally happen as you invest in yourself. It will happen when we meet in the House of Swans. You will see me there almost every week. We will laugh, we will joke, we will tell each other stories. I will come in my pajamas. We're going to be buddies. Okay, but that should not be your goal. Your goal here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy is to become the ultimate elite woman that society will rest its shoulders on, because women like you are so rare and so exquisite. This is my job. This is my assignment. So let's cut out the nonsense, okay? Okay, darlings? I want you to enter this new year with the right mindset. I'm not your bestie. I'm happy to be. But this is not that. So let's take on board. And listen, disagreement is fine. It's okay for you to disagree with me. I am happy for you to tell me, I don't agree with point 4. We don't have to agree on everything. I am not a dictator. I share with you the very best of what I have. Disagreement is welcome here. I am not that woman who will not take, let's have the conversation. Ask me a question. Tell me you disagree. You are welcome to disagree. But disrespect will not be tolerated. Because I don't suffer fools gladly. I will totally block you and get rid of you. And if you happen to be the House of Swans, I had a girl say, I'm very opinionated, Can I be? No, you are not going to come into my house and disrespect me. I tell you what, because I'm going to kick you out. Because as loving as I am, I do not suffer fools gladly. But what I do is love you. I do. I love you so much. I am so, so thankful for you. Because of you, I am. If you don't come, if you don't participate, if you don't show me love, I have no reason to be here. So I do love you. I absolutely love you. And thank you so much for joining me. And have an amazing 2025. And what can I say? Go and win. Go and win in the game of love and come back to head office and tell me how it's all going. Let's go do that. I will see you on my next live. In the meantime, take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye.